everyone, it's Jess, and we are here to spend a day indoors talking about Guts and Glory episodes 1 and 2, the new horror reality show by AMC and Shudder, created by Greg Nicotero, big old, that's what I want to say, very famous FX, special effects artist, one of the main guys who helps with The Walking Dead. Now, this show's interesting. This video will be interesting as well, because this is all you're getting. There's no graphics. There's no little visual layouts. There will be me going out of focus, apparently. Oh, we're back. Okay, like I'm saying. No graphics. No visual aids, because I literally can't get them. There's no cast pictures anywhere. The only, pictures I could have possibly gotten were, during their, confessionals during the episodes. And I can't screenshot off of AMC Plus, so we're flying blind. You're just gonna have to trust me, bro. Just gonna have to listen hard. I do have everybody's names down. Let me tell you something. The premiere, they just introduce everybody, 10 people in 2 seconds. Like, hey, this is this person, blah, blah, blah. We're rolling. I'm like, okay. Maybe it's because the episodes they're much shorter than I thought. They're only a little bit over a half an hour each. So I'm like, oh, pequeño. Okay. But I got everybody's names here. Whatever they said. Also, this is just a personal pet peeve for me. They all introduce themselves, but they're not consistent. Across the board, most of them say name, age, where they're from, what they do. Some of them don't say how old they're. They fully skip that part. They're just I'm this person, I'm from here, I do this. And I'm like, anything else you might want to say? So let's get that together here. Can we get all the info, please? Thank you. Thanks. But I'm quite good at people's faces and names, so I got them quick. But I did write myself little descriptions of them just in case, but I got it down. So let me just run through the cast really quickly. Even though you can't see them, I'm sorry. I tried looking. I got nothing. I really tried. I'm sorry. So we have our 10-person cast. Colby, he is 28 from Denver. He's a ramp agent. Cool. Julian, she's a 33-year-old recruiter from Monroe, Louisiana. Josh, didn't say how old he is. He's just from Lowburn, Georgia, and is a caretaker for his father. Alexis is 42, a stay-at-home mom from Boise. Brady is 21, from Boston, and she is a college student majoring in PR. Fun. Michaela is 26, and she's a nurse from Harlan, Kentucky. Then there is Brian, who is 42, an assistant from Long Island, New York. Julia, didn't say her age, from New Jersey. She is an operations outreach manager. Dewan, who is a 26-year-old city commissioner in Paducah, Kentucky. And then Lucian, no age, from New York City, a bartender and music producer. Now, let me say something. Lucian was higher on this list. I skipped him deliberately to bring him to the end. This is the elephant in the room for me. They don't mention this at all, at least not in the first 2 episodes so far. Lucian, that's his middle name. That's Mingus Reedus. I know your face, sir. The son of Norman Reedus, aka Daryl from The Walking Dead. How we got Nepo babies on We have Nepo babies in the 6th episode, 30-minute horror reality show. And they don't even mention it. If you're gonna get the Nepo, at least be like, hey, that's my dad. And you know what's so funny? In the start of this, like the premiere, has like their like Zoom interviews where they're talking about like their fears and stuff. And he mentions, he's like, oh, my dad made me watch like The Walking Dead. And I was like, I was so scared of it when I was a kid. And I was like, and I knew his face, but I was second guessing myself. And I'm like, when he said that, I was like, is this fucking Lucian? Is this Mingus? But I wanted to hear him say his name. Then he said Lucian, and I'm like, so I Googled it, and that's his middle name. I got your T clocked, sir. Even if they're not gonna say it, I got you. I'm looking. But yes. Nepo baby aside, this is our cast of our 10 people. You won't see their faces. If you want to go watch, go ahead. Up to you. Now, let me tell you something. They set these people up. These episodes, they told them nothing. I don't know what they told them to get them to sign up for this. If they were just like, come do this game show, and then they just brought them to the woods. These people have no idea it's a horror show. There's like murder, death. They're like in the woods. There's blood and shit. These people just they're gonna come play some like game show. And they're like, just kidding. Buddies. These people, let me say something. For all the shit that happens in these first 2 episodes, they're like so calm. It's kind of crazy. I'm like, you people are too normal. I can't tell if you're in shock or like just too chill. Because this is wild. Or maybe they were just suspicious from the jump about this being a horror thing. I don't know. But yeah, they lie to these people. They load them all. They make a show, first of all, when they're getting on their bus, of everybody putting their phones into the producer's bag and getting on the bus. No phones. That's important. They load their asses on the bus, take them out to the mystery location. They don't know where they are because the bus is fully blacked out. Windows, everything is covered. There's a sliding door when they get on the bus that cuts off from the bus driver. They're talking to him through like a screen when he needs to talk to them. They're like, you're not knowing shit about this. They're like, welcome to the swamp in Alabama. Get out. They dump their asses there. They have to hike through the woods to get to like a campsite that's made for them. And they have challenges here. Now, these challenges, I think, are very simple. I think that might be like my biggest gripe with this show, because in theory, I like the premise. I love the premise, honestly, of just taking a bunch of people who think they're playing a normal game show and then being like, actually, you're in a fucking horror hellscape. Good luck. That's fun. These challenges are okay. They're not anything like crazy. They're not really hard. The episode 2 challenge is like a crapshoot pretty much. It's like, this show I think could be really well, but I know it's season 1, 30-minute episodes. They don't got a lot to work with in that sense of the show. Tweaks. Just make some tweaks. Extend the showtime. More interesting to be fair, this is only 2 episodes. We've only seen 2 challenges. They could get crazier from here. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Take the challenges. Ramp them up. Make them a little more challenging. Because, like, the first challenge they have to do in episode 1, they're split into 2 teams of 5. They have 5 pedestals with 5 states on them. They have to go into the woods and five little totems, statues, whatever. They all call them something different. I'm just calling them totems, idols, whatever. They do remind me of like the survivor like community idol for your tribe. They're like little statues. The statues are of like a cryptid urban legend from whatever state is on the pedestal there. So they have to go into the woods, run to the woods, find the totem, collect all 5, run back, match them onto the correct state, and whichever team does it the fastest gets an advantage in the next challenge. I think they had to do the run separately, and they weren't doing them at the same time, obviously. I think this was kind of easy. Especially the cryptids they picked. They did, I wrote them down because I knew I would forget them. Jersey Devil. I think everybody knows where that one is. Aliens. The gray alien. Mothman. Come on. Everybody. Those are like the 3 I was like, alright. Come on. Those are fairly simple. The other 2 I was not familiar with. A Grunch from Louisiana. I didn't say the other states. I think you already know the other 3 states. And then this one. A Spirit of a Swaddled Infant from Alabama. Sure. Okay. Whatever. So they do the runs, you know. They don't say their times. So it's the fastest team. Oh, I'm wrong. They don't get an advantage. The fastest team wins. The slowest team gets a disadvantage. I swapped the challenges. My bad. But they don't say their times at all. They don't say that team 1 got 10 minutes and whatever. Team 2 got 15 minutes. They don't say. So we don't know. That's a flaw. Tell me the times. I want to know what the times were. That's kind of important to the game to make sure things are running correct. So Team 2 wins. Team 2 consists of Brian, Dewan, Brady, Julian, and Josh. I did laugh because Brian was talking about their Team 2 versus Team 1. Team 1 consisting of Alexis, Colby, Julia, Lucian, and Michaela. And Brian's like, I'm looking at their team, and they're like really athletic. They seem like really capable, da-da-da. And he's like, and I look at our team, we kind of feel just like the leftovers. And I was like, leftovers mentioned, we're up. The leftovers are back. And they're on AMC Plus. They did Paramount Plus, and they're here. That made me, I was like, the leftover. When he said that, I laughed. I was like, oh my god, the leftovers. Well, yeah. So Team 2 lose. So they're gonna get a penalty next time. What's the penalty? We don't know. They don't say. Now, there's not a lot of like stuff here. Because like I said, 30-minute episodes, and these people don't know what show they're on, so they think they're just having a little fun time in the woods doing games. Now this is where the setup begins. This is where they start playing in these people's faces. So they set up a bonfire. They're sitting around a bonfire talking about the day. They're like, oh, the cryptids thing was so weird, da-da-da. And then Julian, who is from Louisiana, she's telling them, oh, you know, when I was in college, I had a roommate that was super into, like, you know, folklore and all this stuff. And she tells them the tale of the Spirit of the Swaddled Infant. Lengthy name. We gotta work on that one. She's telling them this. Cut off. Producer comes. Barges into their little bonfire. Is accusing her of sneaking in a phone. do you have a phone? Someone said they saw you with a phone. Do you have a phone? And she's like, I don't know. No, why would I have a phone? No, I don't have a phone. And she's like, okay, I have a phone. So she's upset, crying. The producer like leads her off. The rest of them are like, what do we do? We just supposed to sit here? They're like, all right, everybody to your tent. Nobody goes to their tent, mind you. They're all just kind of sitting there. Julian's wigging out, crying, hysterical. She gives the phone to the producer. And then, in a fit of hysterics, she storms off into the woods. And that's it. Everybody are sent to their tents. And also, something about the show. I don't like this. They all have these little, they're not, I don't know if they're GoPros, but they're not. They're like little cameras, literally like the size of this pen. They have like a handle and a little camera and like a little screen, and they're filming themselves like literally like this. They're like talking to, like, so we're here in the woods, like this is a vlog. This is like this is too much of the footage. We don't need the vlog cameras. I know Greg Nicotero says later in like episode 2 that he wants this to be like Blair Witch Project meets Survivor. Sure. We don't need the found footage angles. This is too much. That every footage, too much footage. Them I get once in a while, maybe, but this is like like a lot of it is like we're in this hospital. We're at this place, and they're like walking around like this. They're like, I'm like, this is a lot. So we get like a lot of like GoPro footage of them like in their tents, like talking like this. So like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if we're still gonna have the show because she technically just cheated. I think she got booted, but she also just wandered into the woods. I'm like, okay, sure, we'll talk like that. We'll do this. Okay. Next morning, Julian's still gone. Now, Julia is wandering the woods, yelling out for Julian because apparently nobody found her. Allegedly. The rest of the campers, the rest of the contestants are still sitting and went back to the campfire and they're just kind of sitting there even though it's not lit. Julia is walking. Finds the GoPro on the floor. Picks it up. Blood dripping. Looks up. Julian is dead in a tree. She starts wigging, screaming, running. Runs back to having a full meltdown that she found a body. The producers are running around. They're calling an ambulance. Now listen. They're trying to sell this. I think they could have sold this better. Because they just have an ambulance come and take the body out of the tree and then just put the body in the ambulance and then they all leave to go to the hospital, everybody. And I'm like, listen. I know you're like, this is not real, but we gotta like, if we're gonna sell, you gotta sell it. If I'm thinking somebody just died, murdered in the woods, and body ripped apart in a tree, I'm gonna need more than an ambulance to show up, take the body away, and then we're moving on. I'm like, where's the police? Where's the tape? Where's the investigation? Where's the coroners? Where's a camera? Take a picture of the body in the tree. You just destroyed all the evidence. Apparently these people have never seen Law & Order SVU. Gotta investigate the crime scene. All of that aside, these people are way too calm. Only Julia is waking out, and honest to God, I'm like, is Julia an actor as well? Because I don't know. It's given that energy. But she's still going in the game. So I don't know. I literally don't know. I'm gonna be so real. they're so calm. They're like way too chill about having just found a dead body in a tree, mutilated, face ripped, and she's not just like dead. Like they show it because obviously this is Greg Nicotero. The special effects are like primo, as they are like on The Walking Dead. If you ever watched The Walking Dead, you know, on point. So her face is like ripped. She's like all ripped. Like there's like a big claw mark on her face. Crazy. And she was in the tree like all the way up. Like it was crazy. But then they like I'm like, come on. The ambulance comes. They don't even put a sheet over her. They just put her whole body bare at like fully uncovered. Just load her ass in the ambulance like this. I'm like, all right. But people are like so calm. They're literally like, oh my god, they're bringing the body by, and they're just like standing there like watching the body go. I'm like, you people are crazy. You are too normal about this. Unless they cut them having a fucking meltdown, they're too calm. They're too chill, and I'm concerned. I listen. This is my pitch here. You gotta ramp it up. You gotta make it more real. Have fake cops. Have a fake crime scene investigation. Have fake morgue people. Sell it. Fake police cars. Have interviewing the witnesses. Interviewing sell it like this is a real crime. Like a real person. And then you get, because these people are just like confused. Like they're giving confused. And like kind of in shock, but nobody's crying. Only person crying is Julia. And I don't even know if she's crying for real. Because she... they should have sold this harder. I think they could have done a lot more with this. I don't know if they had like the time constraints because of like the episodes are so short. But I think they definitely could have like sold this. And like they could have brought them all down, maybe to the hospital still if you want to get them there after the police do like interior or like talking to the witnesses or whatever. They could be like, okay, the producers are gonna stay here and do the interviews. We're gonna send the cast to the hospital. Be like, oh, you need wellness checks because fucking we do have somebody die, and then do the hospital shit. And then you're like, haha, gotcha. It's a TV show. It's a horror show. Just kidding. No game show. That'll sell it. So let's work on that. If Greg Nicotero, if you're watching this, let's spin that up, because this is a fun premise. I do love this. I just love when they're pulling a fast one on these people. It's fun, but like you want like the big reveal, that's like the TV moment, like the big reveal of like, holy shit, we think this person's dead. Oh my god, da da da, and it's like, just kidding. You're on a TV. You're the TV show that you're on. Wrong. Like sell it. Get the human emotions out of it. That's what reality TV loves. They're like human emotion and trauma. Let's milk that shit. Collect that. Shake it up. We're putting that on the big time. So let's work with that. Let's extend the episode length. And let's really sell it to these people. Because they're already selling it to them. Because guess what? They've been lying even more to these fucking people from the start. Because remember how I said they're at a swamp in Alabama? Lie. It's all a lie. And these people have no idea. Because they're not at a swamp. They're not even in fucking Alabama. They're in Georgia. Their ass is landing on a... They flew in to Georgia, to Atlanta. They were taken by bus, by car, however they get there, to Alabama. They fool these people. They stay overnight at the hotel in Alabama. They then get on the bus, as we saw, the boarded up, the blacked out bus so they can't see outside. They get their asses driven unknowingly back to Georgia. And where are they? I knew immediately. Because I watched this show for too many times, for too many years. They're on the set of The Walking Dead. Every set they've been in is The Walking Dead sets. And I'm like, these people don't even. I saw them woods. I was like, oh yeah, I know those woods. And Greg Nicotero did an interview with Entertainment Weekly about this as well. I'm not gonna spoil anything from The Walking Dead if you haven't seen it, but the camp in episode 1 that they're at is the same spot where they used for the camp for the Whisperers. Who's that? I'm not gonna say. But I clocked that. I was like, I know these looks real familiar. But in episode 2, the hospital they are now arriving at is an abandoned hospital they used for season 5. I won't explain more. Don't read the interview, actually. If you haven't seen The Walking Dead, don't go read that interview, because it does spoil stuff. Because it's like, oh, this is from this season with this thing, and this happened. Don't do it. If you're trying to watch The Walking Dead, you don't want spoilers, don't do it. If you don't give a shit, go nuts. But these people still think they're in Alabama. They're in Georgia on the back lots of The Walking Dead. They don't even know they're not in Alabama. I think that's so funny. Like, how do you trick these people to not knowing they're not even in the right state? And that's so funny. Oh my god. The show is so ridiculous. I kind of love it. I love it. Actually, it's so camp. I need them to start tweaking this up more, because I think this would be really fun. We just gotta tweak it. Like I said, tweak. Now, that was episode 1. Episode 1 literally flows right into episode 2, because they're leaving their crime scene camp and going to the hospital. And this hospital, they're like, the vibes here are weird. And I'm like, yeah. Because they're setting you up. They think it's a normal hospital. They put them all in a waiting room. Julia's still wigging, by the way. Julia's the only one wigging. Everybody else is kind of like, they're more like baffled and like kind of in shock. But still, nobody's like, you just watched somebody die. You saw somebody's dead that you just were hanging out with yesterday. And you're like way too chill about it. But they're in this waiting room with a producer. Chilling. Lights go out. Boop. It's like, what the fuck? Lights on, off, on. This episode, if you got like epilepsy or something, don't watch this. Because a lot of this, a good chunk of the episode is them walking through this hospital and the lights are off, on, off, on, off, on. It's like pitch black, bright light, pitch black, bright light. But the lights go off, there's like some lights coming back on, and yeah, outside the room, they're like flickering on and off, and all you see is blood just splatter on the glass of like those like frosted windows at a hospital, and they're all like, they jump. Let me tell you something, when that blood, bam, hits the window, they're like, oh my god, like they're like, what the fuck is happening? So they're all looking around like, oh my god. And they're just like, we gotta get out of here, da da. So they go out. They're like running through the hallways. Now look like season 1, episode 1 of The Walking Dead. Hospital beds overturned, bodies and pieces everywhere. There's blood smeared all over the place. They're all like, what the fuck? They get to the hospital doors. They're completely barricaded. They're standing there with their GoPros like, how do we get... The doors are blocked. How do we get out? What do we do? And then... Here comes the speakers. And it's Greg Nicotero on the speakers. He's like... You can't leave yet. Contestants, you have to go deeper into the hospital to figure out how to get out. So then this is the strobe light portion of them walking through this hospital. Past all the carnage. There's people like screaming every now and then in the distance, following blood arrows to get down to the morgue. And they made this morgue funky. They're gagging walking in because it reeks. There's covered up bodies laying there with their toes out with the tags on them, and they cut through this curtain. And they got a body for them. Literally, if you've ever seen... I keep bringing up The Walking Dead because it's literally relevant. If you've seen The Well Walker, picture, literally that, on a big body dude. They even say, like, oh, we pulled him out of a river. I'm like, well, Walker. I love that well, Walker. It's nasty. Literally split on a table, on a, like, what do you call them? The exam tables? I don't know. The table. Fully gutted all the way here to here. All, like, you can't see my bottom hand. Like, literally from, like, here to, like, all the way down. I'm like, oh, you put that, we didn't need to see all that. But yeah, cut open, peeled back, all guts, blood, and they're gagging. They're all like, this shit reeks. This shit is nasty. Except for Michaela, because Michaela is a nurse. So she's like, this is just another Tuesday. This don't smell that bad. This is work. And they get their second challenge here. Part 1. Challenge 2, Part 1, I'm calling it. Where Greg Nicotero is back on the speakers telling them, okay, look at this body, y'all. You guys need to go suit up, put on goggles, lab coats, thick ass. They had to tape the gloves down to the suit, to the jackets, so they can then start digging. One by one, start digging in the guts for number tags, like little tags like that. They don't realize this until after, but the number tags are there, will be the order that they're in for part 2. This crapshoot. So let me tell you something. They're looking for like a tag, a number tag. They're not very efficient lookers, because these people, you would think you're looking for a metal tag that was put into this guy's stomach. You think you'd be feeling like up the guts, like, is there anything in here, or something in here, or something in here? They're kind of just like, they keep scooping, like they're mixing up a salad. They're like stirring it up, stirring it. I'm like, we can do a little better than that. We could like feel it up, like is there something in here? No, next. But they're just like stirring, and like, this is nasty. Josh, I think they would have probably gone back behind that curtain and beat his ass, because they're all in another room, like outside the curtained area where he is, and this man is retching and heaving so loud that multiple people are about to go beat his ass because they're about to vomit as well. He doesn't even vomit. He's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna make the noise he's making because it's diabolical, and I don't want to do that to y'all. But it's nasty. He's like, literally, I don't want to make the noise. That's all I'm gonna do. He's literally gagging violently, like literally looks like he's about to vomit, and people are pissed. They're like, if he don't stop doing that. Like, Michaela and Alexis are like, oh my god. One of them, I wish I remember who, in their intro specifically mentioned like vomiting like bothers them, like, and if you're like, I'm not afraid of like blood and stuff, like people vomiting bothers me. And I'm like, there you go, you got your guy, kick his ass. But yeah, they dig through the tags, they find their little numbers. Now, part 2. They have their order. Now, this is the crapshoot portion that I'm like, alright. They now have to go to the other bodies in the morgue, the ones that are covered up with the toe tags. Each toe tag has a weight number on it. Like 57 pounds, 43 pounds, 50 pounds, things like that. They have to go in order, one by one, and pick a tag with the weight that they think is the closest to the weight of the guts inside the body they were sticking through. How the fuck would you know that? Like, you can't weigh that. And the closest person gets an advantage in the next challenge. The farthest person goes home. I'm like, I would be pissed if you sent me home over a crapshoot. I don't know how much guts weigh. So they have to go. I wrote them down once again. So, this is in the order they got their tags 1 through 9, because obviously Julian's dead. Josh, first one to go, guessed, picked a tag 47.7 pounds. Michaela put 46 pounds. Bingus solution, 52.6 pounds. Colby, 44.8. Dewan, 51.5. Now, Dewan was mad because he wanted 47 because in his head he was like, it feels like 47 while he was digging through the guts. I guess he decided to think about that during that time. But he gets 51.5. Alexis gets 49.3. Julia takes 41.1. Brady 53.1, and Brian is stuck with 55.7, which is the heaviest weight. Julia has the lightest weight at 41.1. Now, they're standing with their tags outside where the morgue, because the morgue is obviously divided by like where the covered up bodies are and then the guts area. So they go back into the guts area, and Greg Nicotero finally shows up. In person, not on a speaker, and he tells them, okay, we lied, this is a horror show, and it's the Blair Witch Project meets Survivor, and they're gonna get a cash reward. They have said this multiple times, there's a cash prize. They won't say what it is. I don't know how much they're getting money. How much, they literally won't say. No fucking clue. How much money are you getting? Why won't they say how much money it is? Are they gonna give fucking $20? Are we gonna end this show and you're gonna like, here's a gift card for the AMC website? A free year of Paramount Plus. Not Paramount. I'm thinking of fucking Big Brother. I'm so sorry. When they won the subscription. A year of AMC Plus, which, whatever. What is their prize? Why won't they say it? I want to know. They're literally not saying it. They just keep saying cash reward, cash prize. Michaela says she wants to retire her family, her parents. I'm like, how much money are you getting? Because that's like, if you win Survivor or Big Brother levels of money. That's not this game show on AMC that has 6 episodes that are like a half hour long. I don't think you're making that much money to retire your parents. So how tell me how much money they get. I need to know. This is so important to me. Because they just keep saying a big reward, cash prize. How much are they get? Tell me. I want the dollar amount. Tell me. I want to know. That drives me nuts. I can't get over that. Ugh. Whatever. But besides that, they have to figure out the winner and loser of this challenge. Now, this is Team 2's punishment, disadvantage, whatever the fuck you want to call it, from last episode, the challenge number 1. They now have to... There are 4 remaining people because obviously Julian is dead. Julian's dead. Sorry, she can't be here for this challenge. But, so Brian, Dewan, Brady, and Josh have to go. The leftovers, they have to, as their punishment for losing, have to be the ones to transport the guts from the body to the scale. So they don't even have a weight. Like, the production's like, we already weighed this out. They have to make them weigh it right there. So they literally are carrying the blood and the guts to the scale. I'm like, you didn't make a weight beforehand? Whatever. I'm like, okay. Regardless, it's 47 pounds. So Josh wins. He gets an advantage. We don't know what it's going to be. Brian, unfortunately, with his 55 point whatever the fuck pounds, is the farthest. But Greg Nicotero was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're not. You're not eliminated. You can keep going. Fuck it. Why not? Let's go crazy. You're still here. Brian, very happy. But that means, in like the style of like Great British Bake Off, because Brian stayed this episode, next week is a double elimination. Guts&Glory now has the same amount of double evictions as Big Brother 27. Wow. Incredible. Oh my god. But yeah. So next episode, double eviction, double elimination. These people have, I'm gonna say something. They've bounced back real quick, but they are willing to betray and backstab and cut some throats here, because they're like, I'm getting ready to take some people out. I'm trying to win, and I'm like, what are you winning? Please tell me, because I don't know. But they're at least, you know what? They're gung ho and trying to win, and they're not afraid to cut some people to get to the top. So I'm like, you know what? Love that. Go crazy. You got your chance on this indie ass little show. Go nuts. Get your money and be good. Now, and in this episode, they also include the footage of Julian in the woods, walking around, crying. So upset because she cheated. She's brought her phone. Oh, how dare she? She hears some crying, as in the urban legend that she told of the spirit of the swaddled infant. They gotta pick a better name for this. I'm real. It was like people got hung. A woman drowned with a baby. So she's walking by the water. She's crying. She moves the bushes. There's a baby skeleton in the water. She's freaking out, and then she just like looks up, and then just gets boom, yanked up into a tree, where she is found dead. Now, during this section, they're like cutting back and forth to the morgue where her body is. Very end of the episode. She's a zombie. What? I know. She's a zombie. Her face is all ripped the fuck up. She's a zombie. But she's back as a zombie, I guess. That's what the episode is. So there's not much to discuss because the episodes are so short. I realize they're only going to be a half hour long. So, you know, it's fun. I do think this is a fun show, a fun premise. I hope that they are doing a little more with this in the future episodes, because I know these first two episodes were kind of like the setup of like, they're on a game show, or are they? You know, they have to build it up. I think they could have did that in one episode if they had just gotten like a longer runtime. I could have done one episode, and then we could have really gotten into it more with this episode. But we're still like on light mode. I hope we ramp it up soon, because I would like to see this a little more. Like the challenges should, I think, hopefully get a little harder, a little more interesting, because the first one just like them kind of running through the woods and just finding totems in the grass. Episode challenge 2 is just like kind of like a crapshoot of like, how much do these guts weigh? So I would like a little more. I think what they have is like a good base, like a good foundation. I think they can build it more. I think they just kind of got like the beginning. They could ramp it up. I think they could definitely make some improvements from here on out. Yeah, definitely more interesting challenges, harder challenge, more like complex challenges. I think would be fun. I think it's actually like a puzzle. Like they said, Blair Witch Project meets Survivor. Listen, I know sometimes Survivor challenges are interesting, but at least like those are like, honestly, I like watching Survivor challenges. I think they are very compelling. Like you're like, oh my god, you get so locked in to those challenges. These are kind of like, okay, because they're so quick, because the runtime is so short. It's literally like, oh, my apologies, I whacked that. they just fly by too fast. It's like we're getting like the TLDR version. I wish we could get a more fleshed out version with more interesting competitions. Possibly it's maybe AMC was kind of like, they don't, because they don't really like do, I don't think they're known for reality television. So maybe they were like, because it's so experimental for them, they're kind of like, let's just start small. Maybe a little too small, in my opinion. I think we could have gone more. But yeah, I like bigger and better challenges, more interesting challenges. Like I said previously, sell it harder. Make them really believe this, because I don't know if they ever like fully believed it, because it was so like too nonchalant, in my opinion, because nobody was making out. If you just thought you saw somebody you were just spending time with brutally murdered in the woods in the middle of the night, I think you would have a stronger reaction than being like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like, I'm so apparently, just like at one point, one of them, where's my GoPro pen, here we go, is like, so apparently there's a dead body on our campsite. I'm like, they have to have more of a reaction for this, because that's what you're tuning into. You're tuning into the show that these people don't know is a horror reality show. They think there's like a regular reality like game show. You want that reaction, like, oh my god, what's like the big reaction. The only person that gave a reaction was Julia, and honest to god, I think she might have acted that shit out, because the shots of her finding the body were kind of suspicious. It's like the GoPro angle of her picking it up, and then a zoom in of the blood dripping on her hand, and then a far out version of her looking up. I'm like, this is too many camera angles. This is suspicious. So more genuine, natural reactions, I think, would sell it, because you definitely could have got somebody out there for real, like, hey guys, we've been looking all night, we need you guys to help us, can we help us, like, look, we need to try to find Julian, and have like somebody from like the cast naturally stumble upon it, and not kind of just like edited, like scripted thing. I still don't know if Julia is like an actor for real, because she's still in the game. But I'm like, her finding the body was like, that felt scripted to me, in my opinion. But I don't know. It just felt not real. Unless they made her like retake it. If they were like, this wasn't good enough, can we need to get the shot of the blood in her hand? I don't know. I don't work there, obviously. So yeah, definitely, I think the shock value is a good selling point for the beginning, to get people hooked from the start. We're not getting it. Ramp that up. Also, I'd like to know more about these people. We kind of just get like the basics, and then we get like a little bit here and there, but not much. So it's like there's no, you're knowing these people, but you're not like connected to them. Like, we get a little bit like Julia's family, we get a little bit like Dewan, we get a little bit of I can't call him Mingus, Lucian. None of his family though, just of him living in New York. I wonder why. But like we get a little bit, but the episodes are too short to get more. I think a lot of this can be fixed if you just extend the runtime here, because it is fun. I was having a good time watching it. It's just, it could be better, and I hope it does get it better, because like I said, this is really fun. I don't know if it's Blair Witch meets Survivor, but you never know. Maybe it could get there one day. I'm trying to be positive, because I do think this is a fun premise, and I love Greg Nicotero. I've said this before, The Walking Dead is my favorite scripted TV show of all time. I watched it for from like right before season 4, in between season 4, season 3, season 4, on until literally the series finale, and now plus there's the spin-offs as well. I love The Walking Dead. And they have like obviously it's filmed on The Walking Dead set, so it literally has like The Walking Dead vibe plus the special effects. So I am enjoying this. I just want more from it. It's like I said, it's kind of like the TLDR, like bare bones of it, and we gotta ramp it up. So I'm hoping we're on up from here, because it was it was fun. I just want more. I feel like I'm talking in circles, but you know what I mean. There's not much to say, because these two episodes were kind of like the setup for the show and the premise itself, and now we're actually gonna get into it with episode 3, which is another thing. They have half-hour episodes. There's only 6 episodes, I believe, and the first 2 are like mostly kind of like setting up the premise. Like I said, that could have been one episode, one longer episode, and then use the next 5 to actually get into the meat of the game. Because now you wasted 2 out of your 6 episodes on kind of setting this up and introducing the premise of the show. Because they were both, and they kind of do like a cliffhanger of like, oh my god, Julian's dead. But you drop both episodes at the same time, so it's not like a cliffhanger if I could just click the next episode. You know what I mean? I don't like when they do that. You can't really do a cliffhanger when there's an episode like you know what I mean? Like you're not cliffhanging because it's coming up next. But yeah, I think this will be hopefully be a fun show. I hope we ramp it up. I mean, it looks, special effects, at least from the teasers and trailers and shit, look crazy. So at least it'll be like cool to watch. I don't know. I'm just hoping for the best, because I really think this is fun, and I don't want them to be like, it's lame, cancel it. And I'm like, no, because it is fun. I just think they have like tweaks, improvements, and it'll be like primo. Next season 2, get rid of those damn GoPros. We don't need them. Get them out of here. Make these people fear for their lives. Make them actually shaking, crying, throwing up, thinking they just watched somebody die. Trauma, and that actually might be too much. Maybe they think, maybe don't permanently traumatize these people, but spook them. Give them a scare. Sell it. That's the theme of this show for me. Sell it. Push it more. Make it longer. Get them damn mini cameras out. Okay. If anybody from the production watching this, I'm so sorry if it's not coherent. I really do think this is a fun show. Also, let us meet more of the cast. Let flush them out a little more. I think you can improve a lot of this, just the runtime. I'm gonna keep saying that until I die. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of all I got. Like I said, not a lot. This is mostly just setting up the show and then a couple challenges that are kind of simple. So, I will be back next week, next Thursday, for episode 3. I believe just one episode was coming out from now on. I think just for the premiere they did 2. We will also have, coming up tomorrow, our coverage for episode 4 of Survivor 49. And on Sunday is coverage for The Amazing Race episodes 3 and 4. I know I'm late with 3. I apologize. Things just didn't work out my way in terms of timing and things like that. All of that, ADHD. And I fight so hard to keep that schedule, and it just goes boop out of my hands. But episodes 3 and 4 for The Amazing Race 38 are going to be combined into one. Because honestly, I don't have a ton to say about episode 3, but we'll get to that in that video. Now, episodes 3 and 4 for the Amazing Race coverage this week. It may be a little scuffed, because this weekend I am getting a new computer. This computer I'm on is like 8 years old. So, getting a brand new computer this Saturday, so I'm gonna have to set it all up. I don't know if this will carry over to a new computer. Probably not. I don't know. So we may be looking a little scuffy here and there. So if Sunday's video looks a bit wonky, I apologize. I have to refigure it out. Hopefully I won't have to do too much. Hopefully it'll kind of stay the same. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's kind of all I got for tonight. Hopefully we get some more Spooks and Thrills next episode of Guts and Glory. So, that's all I got. Leave a like, subscribe if you want, and leave a comment. What do you think about Guts and Glory? Were you spooked? Were you gabbed? Were you gooped? Do you think pros or cons? Do you have some improvements like I do? Can you explain them more coherently than I can? Let me know. Let me know. Seriously. Love to hear them. Alright. That's all I got for today. We're starting off the spooky season pretty good. Alright. I'll see you next time. Bye.